Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. Just look at them and sigh, and know they love you. Hey guys, my name is Kevin, and welcome back to another song tutorial here. Today we're going to check out a classic tune called Teach Your Children by Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. I know we've been doing some more challenging tutorials lately, so I thought it'd be time to take a step back, do a beginner-friendly tutorial here using some of the basic first position chords, an easy strumming pattern, and we're going to have some fun doing a little play along at the end, so make sure you stick around for the entire video. Get yourself tuned up, and let's get to it. Hey, before we get started, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and click that alert bell so you know when the next video is coming your way. If you're interested in more learning resources, head over to allforuke.com where we have a full searchable library of songs, song sheets, practice tracks, worksheets, and more. All for you, allforuke.com. All right, let's take a look at the chords here. So the great thing about this, these 4 chords I'm going to show you, you could use for a lot of different songs. So as you learn these, know that they're going to be applicable to a lot of different tunes. So the first chord we're going to check out, everybody's favorite chord, the old C major. So the way we play that is ring finger here, 3rd fret of the A string, and it sounds like this. You can have your thumb position here, either up cradling the neck, or you can put your thumb on the back of the neck when you play the C chord, whatever you get more pressure out of. The second chord is another 1-finger chord, A minor. And we use our middle finger here on the 2nd fret of the G string to play the A minor chord. It sounds like this. I'm going to move us into our F chord, and the F chord we take and we just add our index finger to that A minor chord. So we have our middle finger down on the G string 2nd fret, and we place our index finger down here on the E string of the 1st fret. Really want to make sure here that your fingers have a little gap between your finger and the actual fret. So you should see a little space in between there. If you're touching the fret, you're going to get that little dead and buzz sound. So really make sure when you're learning these chords that you're checking them as you go and making sure all of the notes are ringing out nicely. You're getting a nice clean sounding tone from your uke. And then our final chord is a G7. So I'm going to keep my index finger down here on the 1st fret of the E string, and then I'm going to put my middle finger on the C string 2nd fret, ring finger on the A string of the 2nd fret. This is a good chance for you too to also start working on identifying the string names as you go. So learning those string names, very important. It's going to really be helpful as you're learning new chords. So this is the G7 chord here. I'll also mention that I like to put a little tilt in my hand towards the headstock of the instrument as I play G7. It creates a little bit better spacing for me as I'm playing this chord. So you're going to play a lot of G7 chords if you play ukulele, and having this little tilt is definitely going to help you get that nice tone. So those are the 4 chords we need for the entire song. You're in luck, no crazy stuff today. Let's get ready to learn the strumming pattern. So the pattern that we're going to use throughout this entire song is down, down, up. So I'm going to show you that first and how it sounds. It's kind of a nice little strumming pattern that you can apply to folk, Americana, country tunes that kind of gives it sort of a galloping feel to the uke. So take a listen here and then I'll show you how to do it. So it's down, down, up, down, down, up. You can kind of hear that little bounce that I'm getting in the strumming pattern. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and. So this is how we do it. I'm going to demonstrate this with a C chord here. So first down strum, think of it as kind of a short down strum. So as soon as my index finger hits the top strings, I'm kind of bouncing back up. And when I do that, I'm counting 1. So this strumming pattern, down, down, up, is counted 1, and then we do another down strum and we count that 2. And as we come up, we count and. So the whole strumming pattern is 1, 2, and 1, 2, and. So important here, again, make sure that after you hit that first down strum, you're kind of getting your hand to bounce back up like this. So you don't want to do this with your hand where you come all the way through for that first down strum. So it's just a little important factor here for this strumming pattern. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and. So let's try that together. Let's hold a C chord. We'll go nice and slow. I'm just going to count for the first few times through, and then I want you just to listen and hear and feel the strumming pattern and try to sync up with me as you do it. So here we go, holding a C chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and bounce, bounce. Really listen to that first strum. That's what's going to make this whole tune have that little bouncy feeling. A couple more times. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and. So that's the strumming pattern we'll use throughout the song. Now let's go and take a look at the verse. If you're digging the sound of my uke, head over to allforuke.com/shop. You can have a Kali ukulele for yourself. When you buy your Kali ukulele through All for Uke, you're supporting us, and we really appreciate it. Make sure you check it out. Concerts, sopranos, tenors, baritones, a wide selection of accessories, capos, and more. All for you, allforuke.com/shop. So let me just go through a line of the verse here and demonstrate it for you. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You who are on the road must have a code that you can live by. So let's take a look at what we did there. So we started off on a C chord, and everything will be played 4 times with the strumming pattern. So when I say 1 time through the strumming pattern, I'm just going down, down, up. So you do that 4 times for each chord. So when I'm moving through here, I start on my C chord, and then we move to an F chord. So a little tip for you guys here who might be just starting off with the uke, it's always good to kind of get your hand in position to go to your next chord. So when I'm playing C, I'm actually hovering my other fingers, my middle and my index finger, like I'm going to the F chord. Not like I'm going there, but I'm actually going there. So I'm playing C, I'm hovering over my F, because that's my upcoming chord, and I play that 4 times. And then I move back to my C chord, and if you notice here, my ring finger is not popped off like this. My ring finger and all my fingers kind of have this nice rounded shape to them, so I can quickly access the neck. So I'm going to move back to my C chord for 4 times. And then my last move here goes to a G7. Now when I'm doing that, again, I have these index and middle fingers rounded off here so that I can quickly lay them down to get to the G7 chord. So this C to G7 move, you're going to see this in a lot of songs when you play ukulele. So when you make this move, what I like to do is take my ring finger from the 3rd fret and just slide it on the string to the 2nd fret. So I don't have to pick it up to get there. I just keep it in contact with the string as I move from C, and as I slide that to the 2nd fret, I already have my fingers rounded, ready to drop down for my G7 chord. So if you want to walk through that here, we'll go through, and I'm just going to play through C, F, C, G7 1 time, and we'll do it together so you can kind of get a feel for this verse. So here we go with a 4 count in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. G7, 2, 3, 4. And that's all you need for the verse sections of the song. Let's get into the chorus. All right, here's a quick demonstration of the chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't you ever ask them why? If they told you, you would cry. Just look at them and sigh, and know they love you. All right, so what's happening here in the chorus? We start off on a C chord again. We play that 4 times through the strumming pattern, and then we move to an F chord. We do that 4 times. We go back to the C chord. We play that 4 times. Here's where a little change happens that kind of differentiates this from the verse, is we then move from C to the A minor chord, and that's where the lyric sigh is that I'm trying to hold out here, and we do that 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And And then we move to an F chord, which is a nice easy switch here for us because we already have our middle finger in place. So anytime you're moving between a chord where you already have a pivot finger, keep that finger down because we're going to just take our index finger and place it down for this F chord. And then the only little nuance of this song is a single down strum on the G7 chord. So we move from F to G7, and again we have a nice pivot finger in place here. Using our index finger, we can just rotate down our middle and ring fingers to play that G7 chord. So we move from F, 1, 2, then we do a single strum on G7 right before they do And Know They Love You. So we're just going to play through that section nice and slow together. I'll talk us through the chords. Here we go with a 4 count in. 1, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, A minor, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, G. And that's all you need for the chorus section. So a lot of pretty easy stuff happening here, but make sure that you're really getting these chords to ring out nice and clear. You're staying consistent with your strumming pattern. We're now going to take the verse and the chorus section, put them together for a little consolidated play along. So get yourself tuned back up and let's get to it. All right, let's get into the play along now. So I'm going to intro this just by going from C, F, C, and G7, just like we would do in the verse section. So we'll go through that one time, and then we'll start the verse, do the chorus. I'm going to kind of keep this around 78 beats per minute because that's what the song tempo is at. I will also have a song sheet for this one, which will have the chords laid out over the lyrics, the tempo, the time signature, a lot of good stuff for you at allforuke.com. So here we go, starting with the intro. Make sure you're loosened up, tuned up, smiling, ready to play some Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and C. 2, 3, 4, to the F. 3, 4, and C. 2, 3, 4, G7. All right, here we go to the verse. You who are on the road must have a code that you can live by. And so become yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. The line, and teach your children well. Their father's hell did slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams. The ones they pick, the ones they'll know by. Here we go to the chorus. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. So just look at them and sigh, and know they love you. Vamping it out here, C, F, C, G7. C, 2, 3, 4, G7, 2, 3, 4, and on C. So where were you the first time you heard this classic song, Teach Your Children? Or is this the first time you've ever heard it? Let me know in the comments below where you're playing your uke, where you've heard this song before, or if you have any other songs, maybe from this genre or other genres that you would like to hear. I think this is a great song for beginners to learn some of the basic chords and how to move around and navigate the neck with some of these first position chords. I also want to mention I have a song sheet put together for this. You can check it out at allforuke.com. I love hearing from you guys, so again, make sure you leave your comments below, and I'll see you back here next time for another tutorial. My name's Kevin. Take care.
Let's get